The Master's reclaimed his TARDIS. Kinda. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. Structure and the major plot beats of the Talons of Weng Chiang, it becomes plainly obvious that the story was originally intended to be the return of the Master, and to resolve the dangling plotline at the end of The Deadly Assassin. I mean, look at the story. You have a creature pretending to be the legendary Chinese villain Weng Chiang, lurking in a hidden cellar beneath a Victorian London theater house. The character of Chiang is robed and masked and visibly degenerating, and using his minions to bring him young women to drain their life force in order to regenerate his own cells. On top of that, he is searching throughout the city of London to find his missing time cabinet. And by part 4 of the story, you have Li Sen Chang telling the story of how Weng Chiang arrived in China in the time cabinet, falling, burning from the heavens, and Chang nursed him back to health. But the time cabinet was found and stolen by soldiers at the time, and ultimately taken back to England by collectors. All of this points to the Master, still at the end of his final regeneration, trying to find some way to claw back life, having lost his TARDIS and using whatever technology he can to barely keep himself alive. I would guess in the original story treatment that Chiang and Chiang were both the same character, given that Chiang frequently throughout the story uses hypnotism, a method common to the Master. But here in this final treatment, where the Master was removed and replaced with a different villain, the remnants of the original story are plainly obvious. My understanding is that producer Philip Hinchcliffe decided he didn't want to have the Master back twice in one season, that it was overusing the character, and on that point I wholeheartedly agree. I'm very happy that they leave the Master alone for a couple of seasons, before ultimately bringing him back in Keeper of Traken. And that, in and of itself, is another sound piece of evidence on why Philip Hinchcliffe was such a phenomenal producer for the series. He understood not wearing out the welcome of recurring villains. It makes it so that when the great villains do occasionally appear, it's actually a surprise and a treat, instead of the never-ending Dalek treadmill of the 60s, or the season in the Third Doctor era where the Master was in every single story. Having the same villains over and over again just gets so boring. And I'm so glad that Hinchcliffe had Robert Holmes adjust the script and create a brand new villain in the person of Weng Chiang. I've got one more day to talk about this story. I think tomorrow I'll dig into the enhanced special effects that came with the Blu-ray edition of this story. I'll see you then.